I have to tell you guys, Jelly Roll got it wrong. What's up, you guys? My name is Nicole Pludre. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I love to talk about drugs, addiction, recovery, and so much more. This is my YouTube channel, Discovering Nicole. Welcome, where we talk all about my life, recovering from the disease of addiction, losing weight from food addiction, and just sharing being a mom in recovery. If you guys haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment. Tell me what you're going to do today. Tell me 2 things that you're doing today for your health, to improve your health. Okay, 2 things that I'm doing today to improve my health is I'm going down to the gym to do the stationary bike, and I'm going to challenge myself to drink. You see that bottle over there? I'm going to challenge myself to drink 3 bottles of that water. That's a big 64-ounce bottle of water. So what are you doing? Now let's get into the meat of this video. I want to talk about Jelly Roll's speech that he gave at Congress in support of the Fend Off Fentanyl Act. It's a bill, okay? This bill is wanting to impose stricter and more harder sentences for fentanyl trafficking, and this bill is trash. Why do I say that? So the reason why I think Jelly Roll got it wrong is because we all know most people who sell drugs are drug users, and so this bill is just talking about adding more prison time. Okay, and have we all seen what prison does to people that struggle with addiction? Does it help them? No. What does prison do to people that struggle with addiction? Normally, people that struggle with addiction go into prison, they buy drugs in prison, or they come out and they have no support when they get out, re-entering into society. So prison isn't the answer to drug addiction. And making harsher sentences for these crimes isn't the answer. And that's why I feel like Jelly Roll got it wrong. More specifically, people who are drug users who get caught with fentanyl are going to get these harsher sentences. So where they think that it's going to fend off the drug traffickers and stop them from trafficking drugs into our United States. No, that's not what it's going to do at all. It's just going to make the drug traffickers even smarter, and they are going to work harder to get around it. Fending off fentanyl is not the answer, because fending off fentanyl will only bring in another drug, a different drug, and we're already seeing that with xylazine being added to the supply, and another opioid that has been added to the supply of fentanyl. It starts with an N. I can't pronounce it, but I will put it down in the comment section along with some articles about it. But we're already seeing bigger, badder drugs being added into the supply. So this bill isn't going to help anybody. What we need is more options for harm reduction. What we need is more help for people who struggle with substance use disorder. What we need is, when people get caught with drugs, we don't need to send them to the penitentiary. Okay, they need to be sentenced to a year-long recovery program with therapy and recovery support and that kind of thing, instead of sending them into the penitentiary, where basically what you do when you get to the penitentiary is you just meet more criminals and you learn more criminal activities and you become better at what you were doing before. I feel like Jelly Roll had the best of intentions, and I really liked what he had to say about how he keeps fentanyl test strips in his tour bus. That is amazing. And those are the things that we need more of. We need more harm reduction agencies across the United States. We need more safe supplies where people can go in, use their substance of choice, and be monitored, so that way if they do have an overdose, somebody's there to help them and aid them. Okay, we need more access to clean utensils, tools, syringes. Okay, so that way people are less likely to pass drugs like diseases like HIV, hepatitis C. And I know what some of you guys are saying. Oh my gosh, you're giving them syringes? They're going to use anyway. They're going to use anyway. This is about protecting the whole group of people, because when people are taking drugs, they're going to use no matter what. You can't stop them. They're only going to stop when they're ready to stop. Okay, so making it easy for them to get things like syringes so that way they can inject with a clean needle will help fight against diseases like hepatitis C and HIV. I am somebody who caught hepatitis C because I could not get clean syringes. Because when I went to Walmart, when I went to CVS, when I went to Kroger, when I went to Walgreens with my hard-earned money, they would not sell me syringes. They denied me because they were judging me straight up. So, yeah, the bill is trash. I feel like Jelly Roll needs to do a lot more research before he goes out and starts advocating for things like this. I think that his heart is in the right spot. I know that he has a lot of guilt and shame because he used to be a drug dealer. He used to sell drugs. For those of you guys that don't know, I grew up in Hot Springs, Arkansas. My best friend was Alan Winkle, aka Multi, Big Ben, and Jelly Roll. They were all in they would rap together. And so I've been following Jelly Roll since I was like 16 or something, and I think he is amazing. But I think that he really got this wrong. Instead of advocating for harsher sentencing and harsher punishments, we need to help people who are struggling with substance use disorder. We need to make it easier for them to access treatment. Okay? There are so many hurdles that a person struggling with substance use disorder has to jump through in order to get help for their disease. Okay? Okay, sorry, my phone was ringing. You have to have insurance. You have to have money. If you don't have insurance, you have to wait for a bed to open. They don't take your Medicaid, da 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 da. We also need to be advocating for detox centers to be more than a week long. Because we got people coming off high-powered drugs like benzos, opioids, stimulants, and going into detox for 5 days isn't enough time to get somebody off a benzodiazepine. So we need to be advocating for detoxes to be at least 3 weeks long. There's so many other things that we could be advocating for besides giving people more prison time for trafficking fentanyl. Okay? So what I see happening if that bill got passed is I see a lot of drug users who have drugs on them or who were selling drugs to fuel their own habit. I see a lot of people like that getting caught up in this Fend off fentanyl act and getting harsher sentences when really they're just a person who is using substances and finding a means to an end. Okay? In order to supply their own needs, they had to sell. And that's what will end up happening. It'll only end up hurting people instead of helping people. And that's the problem with the United States. You can't arrest your way out of a drug problem. You can't throw people into prison to get them off drugs. Because 9 times out of 10, what happens is they come out, they've been taught nothing, and they return to what they know, which is drug use, lying, cheating, stealing. What we need to be advocating for is more helping people enter into society after doing prison time. Real help. Not these bullshit probation officers who sit behind their desk and don't do the bare minimum. Okay, I have people reaching out to me every single day who are on probation and parole. And I'm like, honey, make your probation or parole officer work. Call them. Make them find you a place that will give you therapy for your addiction. Make them find you a treatment center that will help you. That is what they're there for. That is their job. Put them to work. So anyways, that's how I feel about the Jelly Roll Fend Off Fentanyl Act speech that he did in front of Congress. I feel like Instead of advocating for harsher sentences and more prison time, why not advocate for more help for people who struggle with substance use disorder? That's the answer. Love you guys.